Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. You join me today in a sponsored video, sponsored by the Metal Store, but not also that. A video where I'm doing the exchange of my labour, not for money, but for a item. I'll let you know what that item is later on. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this video is sponsored by the Metal Store. They sent me out all the materials today. Their links will be in the description. The reason why I use them, if you go to your normal metal supply store, you need to buy the whole sheet of this. And for me, it was over £300 plus VAT in order to get it. But with the Metal Store, I was able to give them a custom cut list and they was able to cut it and send it to my house for a significantly less amount of money. There's an elbow sticking out of the floor and it's going into a building, and basically this part here is exposed and not protected by anything, so all of this is going to be a bit of protection to go around the angle, around the elbow coming out of the ground so it can't get run over, damaged or hit. It's going to be made out of angle iron and then checker plate on the outside. It's all 3mm. Looking at it now, I'm sure the 3mm would have been way strong enough, but the drawing showed angle iron and this, so I'm going to do angle iron and that. 300 by 500. Measurements actually bang on. And this should be 600. 600. One thing everyone should always have, two hand on your keys, is hearing protection. See that? I've always got them to hand. Because I'm not too good at this, I pulled the mark back to 600, pulled it straight and done the 45, and I'm going to line the 45 up over here. So there's the drawing. Now I need to, so I've done the bottom and the top, and now I need to do the vertical up pieces, which are 500mm, and yeah, so I think I'm just gonna have to cut 100mm off. 4 pieces at 400mm. So I'm gonna be tacking it together with my Fronius. I'm not too sure what amps, maybe 130 amps. This is a 3-phase and single-phase machine. I've got it in my commando plug on 16 amps. The gas I'm going to be using for welding and tacking, 12% CO2. I'm not too sure what much to say about this. There ain't going to be much welding, or much important welding. So I messed up a little bit and I need to quickly cut this piece out. I'll explain why in a sec. So it's finished. It took a couple hours to do, you know, filming it and being at my home garage. I'm really inefficient in this place. As you can see, it is messy like anything. And it's not really set up properly, you know. I'm still working out the kinks in it, and I just, right now, this is gonna come out of it, and I'm not gonna mess with this garage for maybe, well, until the next job. But yeah, here it is. So what I done for up here, let's see if I can zoom in on it. What I done up here, I stoved the weld. I don't trust the structural strength of it really. I wouldn't do it too much on structural stuff, but for here I think it's perfect because it was able to blend the two of these together without having to grind. And I don't know about you, I think it actually looks half decent. I'm happy with that. See what I'm saying? Instead of grinding and trying to blend over the whole thing, just a weld on it. People understand welds, and you know, so they know if it's a little bit inconsistent, it's because it's a weld, rather than it being perfectly ground smooth. And yeah, this little nonsense here. I still managed to even put the hole in the wrong spot, but quickly welded that closed. And yeah, so this was the mistake I made, was making this a 45. So this is absolute overkill. It does not need to be this strong. One or the other would have sufficed, but obviously the client said what they wanted and the client got what they wanted. This is originally how it was meant to be, so I made a mistake. When I made this piece here 45, this was a mistake. So my original plan was to make two big squares this side and then joining them across horizontal, and then I wouldn't have added a piece here or here but on all the rest. But I decided to go for strength, even though it doesn't need it, but I decided to do the top in one piece and the bottom in one piece and the horizontal pieces down. I guess it don't really matter, does it? Yeah, it don't really matter which way I would have done it, but in my imagination these pieces here would have been more stronger going in this orientation rather than, you know, pieces in the middle, joining them together or joining two halves together. But at the same time, it don't matter. It would not have mattered. So that's why obviously I was on autopilot and I made this. But this doesn't matter. This I could clean it, but I know it really doesn't matter to who I'm giving it to. But yeah, I'm happy with it. It's finished, it's sorted. So what you're seeing right now is me a week and a half, 2 weeks after your last video cut when I was working on this. I had just come back from working abroad. I was spent a week over in France, but this here is for the loyal ones of yous lot. I don't know what order you're gonna see this video, but I made a metal box in exchange for something, and this is a little sneak peek of what it was in exchange for. I'm now a proud owner of a little plasma cutter. What? Now the reason why I like this so much, it was running this. Let me rephrase. That's a plasma cutter, an air compressor, an oil-free air compressor. That's it. And the reason why I like it so much is because this runs with my plasma cutter, both at the same time on the same extension lead, basically providing me mobile plasma cutting, and it's much better compared to my big one. I'm gonna turn it on for a quick second and just listen to the noise. I don't need that running constantly and with the door open and all sorts. So, which is why I took up the offer of obviously making the box in exchange for this, because listen to the difference. Look at that. Look at that. This isn't a review, it's just an addition. What difference that makes. I'm sure it will fill up faster without this on, but yeah, it's absolutely silent. I won't say silent, but yeah, you don't hear nothing. And obviously in times like this, where I've come back a week later, everything's dirty. Inside the mask has a layer of dust. So for the most part, I was never using this. I really don't use this at all. Now I've got this.